So here we have the Circle app modified with another class that we've added, and this one is going to do the area of a square. Alright, so we're here doing the area of a square now. So we've just added a square class to our program. I've commented out the circle class so it doesn't run. If I do the code run here on replit.com, it'll ask us to enter the length of the square. Remember, square has equal sides, so it could have asked for width. It's going to be the same value, okay? And so it gives us the area 16. Let's check out the code. So we have here, we've created a scanner. I just made up a random name, ty. In the circle app we call it sc. You just need a variable name there, and the scanner allows input from the keyboard, okay? Now when we get to this line here in the square app, it prints out the message, welcome to the square area calculator. So that's what system out does, okay? Then the next line says enter the length of your square. Notice this word, this sentence here comes on a new line. If we didn't use print ln, it would be together on the same line. So if I just use print instead of print ln, let me show the differences between using print or println. So I'm running this again, and you notice here that it prints the message on the same line because there's no new line added. So I'm going to replace the ln so that it prints a new line after the first statement. Alright, so while that's running, let me explain the rest of this code. So here we created an integer length variable, and then we're going to read it in by using the object ty.scanner nextInt. In the circle area we did next double because it was a double or a decimal number. Remember that double has a lot more memory than the floating point. But more on that later. So we ran the program by calling the method of our object. We created an object called mySquare. Creating an object is similar to declaring a variable, but there are a few differences to that. So here's the function that does the work. It's called print_square, and that's why we call this function to get all these statements executed. So it's ty.nextInt because we're reading in an integer. Be careful of the spelling here. It's a capital I for nextInt. We could have done this without reading from the keyboard, right? But of course it wouldn't say enter the length of a keyboard. So let's say we wanted to let's add 3. So we're just going to add that in. Of course this will be fixed and the user can't enter anything. But let's run the program again. And instead of asking the user for input, it's just going to go ahead and use that value and calculate our area. Alright, so it says the area is 9. Didn't really give us a chance to enter anything because I removed the input. So that's what the scanner does. But you have to create an object with a scanner that you can use. So that's what we did in this line here. Okay? Alright, so we input the length via the scanner and it does that. Now here's a question I'd like you to try. Let's see if you could make a class that finds the area of a rectangle. Now remember, a rectangle doesn't necessarily have the same sides equal. You could have one side say 5, another side say 10. Alright, so we'll need to have not just one variable for length, but we need to have a variable for width. So can you create a class that will give you the ability to find the area of a rectangle? Technically a square is also a rectangle, but one thing we know about a square, all sides are always equal. That's why we could have done this line here that says length times length, because we're guaranteed that all sides are the same. And then we printed out the area by saying the area is plus and then the variable name area.